Hello, this is Eddie with Fast Eddies. We're in the garage tonight. We're going to look at this, it looks like a Panasonic uh, plasma TV. It's a 50-inch. Model number. Let's see, light's glaring really bad here. Sorry. There it is. We're going to power it on. I haven't even got a chance to test it yet at all. So you're getting the first experience with it. I'm looking for the power button. Uh-huh. And nothing. It's a red light. What's this? And it won't turn back off. If I switch inputs, see what it does. Okay. And I got a service manual for this one, so we're gonna have a pretty easy time with this, should be. Although I don't think it had anything. Looks like the screen's good. I don't see no breaks in the screen. Of course, they said it wasn't broken, so it is a 3D TV. I couldn't pass it up, man. They called me and said, we got this TV here. It's not working. I couldn't pass it up. Had to have it. Plasma or not. I think I have a plasma TV in my living room, and I love that thing. But it's a 3D TV too. I think the 3D TVs have a little bit more to them than the rest of them. Also, they have they have less. They have they have a lot less ghosting to them than the rest. Like when you say you throw a ball or something like that, watching sports, you don't get as much trails with them. But everyone's going to LED, which I can't argue that LED is superior in a lot of ways. Although people don't like it when their LEDs break. All right. Well, now that I know what's going on, I'll get to the manual here. My early guess is going to say it's a main control. That's my early guess. We'll see. All right, guys, I got quite a bit ahead of myself here. I got on track on something, and I had to go after it. So what I found out is that light on continuous like that, where you can't turn the power back off, is in lockout mode for the TV. Okay, basically is saying that the power supply has sensed a short on one of the main power distributions off of it. Okay, I think there's a 5. There's a what is it? What they call it? They call it the P15 and the VSUS and the VDA. Okay, it comes off this power supply P. They call it P6 on this one, which I know it's not my TV there for that, but that basically you got your let's see here, panel on. So you got your S board and your C board, your S board, SS board, and your SC board. Okay, you got your VS US that supplies the SC board, and you got your VSUS that goes to SS board. Okay, basically, that's a Y sustain, and I think that's the X sustain, the other one, the opposite side. So basically, I went in there and immediately troubleshot for a short, and found a short on my Y sustain or SC board. Okay, just went right to that plug. One leg is going to be your ground, the other leg is going to be your power source. Okay, so one leg is going to ground. You're going to test it to ground, and it's going to be a ground source. The other one should not be a ground source. You should see resistance through it if you see anything. Um, but what I did is whenever I went in there and I tested on the ground source, and then I went ahead and tested the other side. Both of them were the same. Both of them were shorted. You know, um, so that was real fast and easy. Quick troubleshoot. So um, now I'll be honest. I already started looking at parts for this. Just looking at to see what prices were, to see if it was even something I wanted to get involved with. See if I want to just get a board or see how I was going to go about it. Because I kind of thought that it was a shorted board or maybe it was a main board. I kind of want to see what the main board prices were. But I found out they had a repair kit for this. eBay, they have them pretty cheap. I don't want to say prices because that stuff constantly changes. Um, but what I did is I went ahead and pulled off. There's a MOSFET here, I think there's a diode and then a MOSFET. I went ahead and pulled these two, and I think it's that guy. I think it was that guy was shorted. We can find out real quick. And check. I do believe it's gate to source or gate to collector. And from what I was reading, now I'm not. I'll put it like this. I'm not a engineer. I have to look up my stuff a lot of times. There's just it seems like I've went through too much. I've tested too many things, and now it's just hard for me to keep track of that stuff. Um, to remember it every time. I know that you're not supposed to be able to get direct shorts through this stuff, so that's pretty much what matters the most. See, this one's good. I think it's gonna be really hard for me to test like this. I do have my meter set to diode mode. Yeah, I think this is one of the good ones. Okay, nothing. Which is kind of what you want right there. No, not that one. There's another guy. Let's check this one. Hear that? That one's shorted. That one's good. Oh, maybe not. That one might be bad too. Um, Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the kit to come in. We'll replace what comes in the kit, and I'm going to double check everything and then go from there. But the kit comes with the diodes and the MOSFETs here. And so far what I've tested is what they need to be replaced. From what I was reading, from what they had. They have Q402, which is like right here, Q403 right here. I didn't look for this one, but I'm sure they got another one there. They had like, I don't know, at least 4 different MOSFETs, so I imagine these two are going to get replaced too. Because there's 2 here, and then there's these 2, and then that one. I imagine all of them will get replaced. So, and if not, I should have an extra, good one. Now, whenever I soldered these, my iron, I don't know, I have a video out on how my iron that I have, when I put together. Basically, I just set my iron to like, I don't know, 430, and put a little, I put some solder on these 2 points, you know, the top 2 points right there, okay? And I just went ahead and made sure I had good fresh solder on there so that I could just come back and hit it. And what I did is I put a little solder to where it's getting good thermal conductivity through through this, so I didn't have to use a heat gun or anything. So I just sat there and just waited for it to heat up. I watched my iron, just the temperature rise on it, and it went up to about 13, 413, and when it hit 413, this thing was melted in the major portion of it. And then I just come back and hit these other 2 points, grab a pair of tweezers, pulled it right off. It was real easy. So I imagine that's how I'll put them back on. And I'll try, when I put them back on, when I do any more work to this, I'll definitely put it on the video here. But I just wanted to, touch base here. This was a real easy deal. I had the manual for it. It was real laid out. I didn't have to do anything without not having no information. 90% of the time when I'm working on these TVs and stuff, they don't like to produce the information on them. So then you get to go and find out all this stuff on your own, which is never fun. All right. Well, I'll be finishing up whenever I get the parts. Another thing I want to go over here, and I forgot to say, now whenever I pulled these, I pulled one and then I checked for the short here. I pulled another one and I checked for a short here. And then when I realized that there's no short, now the problem when you do that doesn't mean that there's not still something shorted here. It just means that you've cut the leg to the short. Which, like I said, I think this one's shorted too. But it killed the short on it. So that I kind of stopped there, and then I went ahead and looked up and made sure, because I knew for sure at that point that I had, found one of the culprits. So, and then went ahead and looked at the parts for it. Man, this kit is cheap. The TV, I think it's a pretty nice TV. It's a 50-inch plasma. I think I made out like a bandit on it. Especially if this is all that's bad on it. I mean, come on. Yeah. Alright. Wow, I'm trying to forget something else here. Now, I already went, and with this in place, with this on the back of the TV, I went ahead and tested from ground all these points. Okay, there's a ground leg on the very far, this way, there is a ground leg on this one, and there's on this side, the furthest this way, okay, the furthest this way, there's one a ground lead, but all these other don't ground to the buffers, and none of the wires going to the screen ground. So I don't think my buffers are bad. I think it's just this. Alright guys, we're going to try to solder up this spot here. I'm going to show you some real quick stuff here you can do to make this go a lot easier. Okay, first off, when you desolder this thing, I put mine in the oven, set it for like 170 on the oven, and let it sit for a second. You don't, if your oven only goes like 250 or 240, you want to set the oven door open and don't let it sit in there for but a minute or two. You don't want it to get hot enough to where it melts solder. You just want to warm up this board. Basically, you want to make it a summertime surface. So like, like if you touch your hood on the car, that kind of stuff in the summertime and the sun's been beating down on it, that's what you want this board to be like. Okay? Go ahead and get the board itself warm. And it'll kind of keep that warmth in it without it being cold. Now, and this one ain't cooled off just yet. But, you get that warmth in that board, and then you can just hold your soldering iron, like right here on this point. Let's see here. You can add some solder to the tip. You can just sit there and hold it. Actually, before I tell you that, what you want to do is you lift your legs, lift those two legs, like get your soldering iron on it. Lift the leg with something like your tweezers, and then that way you only have that big spot there. You're gonna have to solder to the board, and then you get to it on this side of the chip, and just sit there and let that heat dissipate into that chip until that chip comes off the board. When you take it off with the tweezers, and then as you're soldering it back, what you can do, let's see, I got this one already prepped. I've already took my soldering wick and already cleaned it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of solder, about that much, okay? You see, I'm going to cut it right off there. I'm just going to pull it up right here. And I want to get it to the tip just like that. I'm going to pull it to the tip of that joint, or where that's supposed to sit. And then I'm going to take my new piece. I put a little bit of flux already on it. Just put a little dab, a little ball of flux on the middle of it. And then I'm just going to take it and put it in its place right there. Okay, it's already set. See, it's kind of just wiggling there. And then I'm going to take my iron and just get it right on that ball up underneath that chip. And I'm just going to let it sit there. My iron has to be moved every so often, so I had to make sure it moved there. But as you can see, you're just going to watch it. And this is if you don't have capability, using a, surface soldering, that kind of stuff. This is an easy way to do this where you don't have to worry about all the extra money to do all that. Which I have a heat gun and I have stuff that I can do that with, but this actually makes it just a little, for me, I don't have that stuff sitting out ready to go, and my soldering iron is. So for me, this makes it where I can just do it and get it done and move on. Just leave it sit on there. As you can see, it's already set. It's already molten and movable. See? But it kind of just finds a spot that it likes to sit. And once you find that, you're done. Once it gets to that point, it's in place. So, and then now it's just, see, I can move that board. It's in there solid. And then you come back after that. I use a different tip to do this. I use my big paddle tip to get all the components off, and then do this point. And then I use a smaller tip to solder my legs on. But then you just come back by and solder all your legs onto the board. It's easy. Just tab a little solder onto it, put it on, you're good to go. And then don't forget your resistors. Looks like there's a resistor here, and then over here there's another one, and you got two more over here. And the chips that they replace are this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. The one we just did, this one over here, and these two. So, and that's what comes in the kit. And we're gonna get this done, get it all back together, and hopefully it works. All right, guys, I got it finished. Got this board done. You can see, what it looks like. Resistors replaced. Then we're gonna put this thing in, fire it up. We're gonna see if we got a good TV now. Which I think we got it licked. All right, guys. Well, I tried to record a better video for this. I had it where I had the board, just putting the board on, and was able to do a test right there, but I had lost the footage. But I wanted to just show you that this was working. I got it all fixed, and it's actually my bedroom now. Imagine that, a 50-inch TV in your bedroom. Oh, it's pretty awesome. But if you don't mind, if I've been of any help to you, like and subscribe, man. I need subscribers. I gotta hit 1,000 subscribers before the 20th on February. So any help helps, man. um, but thanks for watching, and hopefully maybe I've helped you this time. Thanks. Bye.